What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe.
So Derek Carr was asked yesterday, would you take a pay cut? Derek Carr said, quote, I would not take a pay cut. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Especially with what I put on tape. But a restructure, absolutely. Always help the team that way. But there's some things that you put out there that you earned. Even in some cases, it could be even worse. But I felt confident when I signed it that this would give the team the best flexibility at the time. But there's always kind of respect as a quarterback. You're like, well, we're still in that respectful lane. God, that's kind of a word salad. We're good, build the team. But yeah, I wouldn't take anything less to do this. It's hard enough putting our bodies through it, and you're trying to get everything you can for your family for it. Derek Carr saying he's not taking a pay cut.
With that last part, read that again real quick. Sorry. Those last.
Which one? I mean, the whole thing got a little muddled in the middle.
I wouldn't take
anything less to do this. It's hard enough putting our bodies through it, and you're trying to get everything you can for your family for it.
Wouldn't take anything less to do it. And I think he's going to make, 40 next year? $40 million?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think my salary was $285,000.
Yeah.
You could take some less to do it if you wanted to. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, whatever. I'm not, I don't have my hand in another man's pocket. But for him to come out like that and say the tape, I'm like, I'll watch tape with you.
Well,
we'll break it down.
So that's where if I want to. So first off, okay, here's my deal. I will never blame a person for not taking a pay cut. Fire me if you want to pay me less. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not really mad.
I've been forced into taking pay cuts before, and it's a god-awful feeling.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you don't have any options, and they're like, hey, here's a plate of elephant crap. Why don't you go ahead and eat that with a smile on your face? It's a god-awful feeling that engenders a lot of bad will. So I'll never fault another man for not taking a pay cut. If I want to play, and I understand all the jokes of him being like, look at what I put on tape, and then Twitter's like, here's the tape, and it's like Derek Carr throwing like a game-losing pick, right? All this other sort of stuff. But what is he, the 18th highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
Is that,
to be fair, he's paid. Yeah. I mean, he's played like that. So like,
I think the problem is look, I mean, you're right about the pay cut. It's like, no, I'm not taking a pay cut, like restructure. Like if he's open to restructure, I think it is the quote that's kind of giving this story legs, but he's going to be 19% of your cap next year. You're going to be 21% of it in 2026, and then you can void it in 2027. I think the only real issue, at least for me, is I don't think he's going to be your quarterback next year.
Yeah, I think you just cut him and eat the cap hit.
I think so too. If he's not going to play, because I don't think if you're going to ride with a Spencer Rattler or whoever you decide to be your quarterback, I just don't think you want this albatross. Like, again, like that's not saying that Derek Carr would try to alienate whoever the quarterback is. That would just happen organically, I think. Like Kirk Cousins is not going to be in Atlanta next year for Michael Penix Jr. to have him in that same room. It's just not going to happen. Like that dynamic doesn't work. No matter how friendly.
If they cut him,
I'll have to look it up. No matter if you're friendly or not.
So you don't think there's any way that Cousins would remain in backup?
I just don't. I think the dynamic of it.
Yeah.
This veteran player who's made a lot of plays in the NFL, and then you got this rookie, but this veteran player is making 10 times what he's making. Is that veteran quarterback? Again, like I don't even say that they're doing this on purpose, but the backup quarterback in the NFL has a very important job. He's trying to get the starting quarterback as ready as anybody in that building. And Flynn, when he comes in 10 minutes, can kind of speak on that better than anybody. And I just don't think like either one of those quarterbacks like will be helpful in that situation. Now, if the new coach comes in, and maybe it is an Aaron Glenn, he's a defensive guy. They think a little bit more conservatively, right? So, hey, let's get Derek Carr. We're paying him already. Let's get a veteran quarterback. Let's get him some better weapons. Let's try to win by playing good enough offense and great defense, maybe in that scenario.
How much of that goes down to when you hire a new coach, you tell him you have leeway to lose in year one?
Because not anymore. Not with what we just saw in the NFL Black Monday.
That's what I'm saying. So, but if you cut Derek Carr, you're going to be worse. I do believe that. I think I want to figure out what Spencer Rattler is to see if maybe you do have a young guy that you feel like you're starting. And maybe I'm wrong, right? Like maybe you cut Derek Carr and you get better. I just don't think that's very likely. What did Rattler go in his starts this year? 0-7? No, he had nobody to throw to. It was inconsistent. He was great in the first half against Tampa the other day, and they kind of fell. So, like, I've seen enough there where I want to see maybe what he can do, and I want to start this new era and kind of rebuild from the ground up. But you have to empower a coach when you hire them and give them that leeway. Otherwise, I feel like they'd be kind of forced to bring back Carr. Because they'd be like, okay, wait, so why would I take then a lesser quarterback and eat a $50 million cap hit if you're telling me that I could be at risk of getting fired after year one?
I mean, you start to look at this contract. He's got a $10 million roster bonus coming in 2025, $30 million salary fully guarantees on the third league day of 2025, 2026 roster bonus of $10 million. So, I mean, there's a lot of, different language in this contract as well. And so if you're going to make the move, it's probably sooner rather than later. But to your point, what you're saying, if you're like, hey, I see these coaches getting axed after 1 year, my best foot forward is going to be with Derek Carr, that might save his job in New Orleans.
Yeah, and then try to go like 7-10 or something, and then you try to build from there. We'll see. But no pay cut coming for DC. Top 12 quarterback. Yeah.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.